What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. So today I got a good one for y'all. We're going to talk about IG versus having a website. I think this is going to be a really good topic. I think you're going to learn a lot. And I get a lot of questions about this, questions about Instagram, questions about a website, just which one is more important? Which one should you focus on? So yeah, we're going to get straight into it. But before I get into that, you already know, hashtag A-Team in the comment section. If you vibe with the channel, if you've been learning anything from the channel, hashtag A-Team. I want to see who's supporting the channel, just who I got up in here, who's up in here. I want to see some familiar faces. So Instagram, IG, which as y'all know, is becoming very popular. And I see a lot of photographers that put all their efforts on Instagram, and I personally don't think you should be doing that. We're going to talk about that later. But first, I just want to talk about just, my overall thoughts on Instagram and just how it has worked for us. So we book clients from Instagram. I think Instagram is great. I'm not knocking it. I think everybody should just have one, even if you don't post on there a lot. I think you should have all the social medias that you can. They'll show up in Google, and it just gives you another place just for clients to find you and just to kind of support what you do and kind of build that trust and credibility, that you're on all these platforms, plus you have a website, you know what I mean? So, when it comes to Instagram, we booked a good amount of clients from Instagram. When we first started our business, that was the main place that we focused and put all our efforts was, it was actually Facebook, but it was Instagram and Facebook. But Instagram it's not really a search engine like Google is, and having that website on Google. And I just think it's something more so for fun. And you see, that's the main direction that Instagram is going, is it's just, to get on there and post your pictures. You see pictures, and you see now you see people doing all kind of crazy stuff. They have reels and all kind of stuff. It's just becoming more of just entertainment. And that's the thing with Instagram. When I think about it, I just think about entertainment. It's not really necessarily for, just your business and really focusing on that as your main kind of like storefront for your business. I see so many photographers that have an Instagram, right? But they don't have a website. And I think that's a mistake within your photography business to not have a site and just have an Instagram and just focus all your efforts on Instagram. I think that's a huge mistake. But first, I just want to talk about the specifics of IG. Maybe some of y'all are new to IG and just don't know exactly how it works and just other things about Instagram. So the first thing, this is the main thing that I don't like about Instagram, and that's why I don't post on there as much. If you follow us on Instagram, I don't post on there as much as I used to. And that's because it takes a lot of time. Instagram is a platform where you have to engage, you have to give to receive, pretty much. So I don't have time to be sitting on my phone all day and liking photos and stuff like that. I got a job, I got a family, I have a business to run, and I don't want to put all my efforts on Instagram like that. And I don't even think the return is worth it in a sense. Now, some of you may disagree. Maybe you put the effort into it and you see that return, but I've been on it consistently. I'm not consistent now, but I just didn't see the return for the time that I was putting in on Instagram. And time is a huge thing when it comes to running a successful photography business. You need to find ways to free up time, speed up your workflow, and you don't want to waste time. And I felt like I was wasting a lot of time on Instagram. So that's the first main thing I don't like. You have to spend a lot of time. Like, if you get on there, you have to engage with people. And the way Instagram works and the algorithm, they want you to engage with people, and you have to give to receive. So if you don't have the time to be on there all the time engaging and doing all that stuff, then and posting a lot of stories, that's another thing, then it's probably not the best platform for you. So that's just my thoughts. Okay, so the second thing that I don't really like is it's not really, like I was saying, it's not a search engine. It's not like you could put the content there and it's kind of like evergreen and it always shows up. So the thing with Instagram is these posts that you make, they die off, so it's one of those things, like if the post doesn't take off as soon as you post it, like if it's not getting that initial engagement from people, then a post is just going to die off. Instagram is going to bury that post and people aren't going to see it. Your followers aren't going to see it, and they already don't show all your posts to all your followers. It maybe shows them to, I'd say, about 10% of your followers. So all your followers aren't even seeing all of your posts, right? And this, you're using this for marketing. You want people to see it. And I just feel like it's not worth it, because those posts die off really quick if they don't get a lot of engagement. And that's what I was saying about, you have to engage with people, you know, to hopefully get them to come back and engage with your photos and your content. So I don't like that the posts die off. It's not evergreen like you know, like a YouTube or a Google, you know, and having those blog posts on your website. Like, they're going to continuously show up in search if the SEO is correct and in place, and you do all your keywords and stuff like that. Those posts are just going to bring you in traffic every day. Versus Instagram, it's kind of like, you know, I don't know, kind of like playing the lotto. You know, it's kind of like hit or miss. And what's the chances of hitting on Instagram? It's not very high as far as having your post take off and just getting a lot of engagement. I have had a couple posts that kind of take off and get a lot of engagement, but not a lot. So it's kind of like just rolling the dice and hoping that you hit on Instagram. And I don't like that. Okay, so my last point with Instagram, this is very important. Do not skip. Make sure you pay attention right now. Take notes, do whatever you got to do. But I don't think any social media platform, not just Instagram, I don't think it should be your main portfolio, your main storefront. When I say storefront, I'm referring to your website. It's kind of like a storefront, you know, showing off your business, that initial impression of your business, your website. But I don't think Instagram, any social media, should be the main portfolio. I think the thing with these social medias and Instagram, they should support your main portfolio. So they should support your website. I don't think it should be your main marketing tool and your main thing that you focus on. And like I was saying, Instagram is just more so for entertainment. So that's why I don't think it should be your main portfolio, you know. And I'll even get into, I'm kind of going random on here, but I forgot this. Like, now Instagram has turned into, you know, if you're not keeping up with it and doing what they want you to do, like with the reels and stuff like that, it's just kind of like you have to keep up with the trends and the entertainment type stuff. And if you're not doing that stuff, you're not cool. You're not popping. So I don't know if y'all can tell by now, but yeah, I lean more towards the website. I'm not really a huge fan of Instagram. I definitely think you need to have a website. I'm gonna say that again to really get that in your mind. You need to have a website. And I have some website advice on my YouTube channel. I'm going to link some of those videos in the description or in the card to help you out. But let's talk about websites now. So why are websites such a good thing? Why do I preach to you so much how you need to have a website? So we're going to talk about just some of the benefits of having a website and focusing on that instead of just putting all your efforts on Instagram. Okay, so the first thing I want to touch is your website is on Google. And if you don't know, Google is, I think, the biggest search engine in the world. So really think about that for a second. Like, it's the biggest search engine in the world. Like, people are constantly on Google searching for stuff. People are on Google searching for photography, for photographers in your area, whatever area that you're in. People are on Google searching for you right now. So, you know, a big thing about marketing and photography is you need to show up where people are searching, and people are searching on Google for services, for your services. So you need to be there. So if you just have the Instagram and not the website, which the website has the SEO benefits, it shows up in Google. If your SEO is done correctly, you're missing out on a lot of traffic and a lot of potential clients who need you and who want to work with you. So that's a really big deal right there. So do you see the difference with that? Google is the largest search engine. Like, people assuming your SEO is correct. If you don't know anything about SEO, then you could hire somebody to do this. And I'll put some links in the description, just people who I think can help you out with SEO. I use a website called Fiverr to help me with SEO. You could use a website called Upwork, but I just freaking burped. That messed up what I was saying, but I'll link all that stuff in the description if you need help with SEO. SEO is big. If you want to get found, it stands for search engine optimization. If you want to get found, your SEO has to get dialed in. But you see the difference. Instagram is more so for entertainment. Like, people don't really just get on there one day and say, oh, I'm gonna search for a photographer. Yeah, people search for photographers, but not at the rate of people searching for photographers on Google. You know what I mean? Instagram is more for entertainment. Having your website on Google is more for business and getting quality leads, because they need like they need help. They need that fix with whatever they're trying to get. Like if you need a plumber, you're going to go to Google. Well, I'm just speaking from experience. Like if I need some kind of service, I'm most likely going to Google. So the second point I want to touch about websites is they add credibility to your business. They make you look more professional, right? It's all about looking up to par. When it comes to your business, you have to look like you know what you're doing. Like if you look like you don't know what you're doing and just a knockoff, people aren't going to book you. You don't look up to par. You don't look like a high-end photographer, or you don't look like somebody I should invest in, right? Like you haven't even invested in a good website. So why should I invest in you? Clients think like this. They usually stumble upon your stuff, and that first impression is everything. That website automatically builds credibility. It builds trust. People have to know, like, and trust you. So a website helps with that. People are going to take you more serious because you've invested in yourself. So hands down, I just think a website makes you look more professional. People will trust you more. And we definitely seen a difference versus when we just focused on social media versus when we had the website and we could send people to that website. And we started booking higher gigs, being able to charge more once we had that website, that storefront, and just a place that talks about our overall experience and everything we have to offer to clients, just packaged in that one website to where you could send people. So I think a website is a must for just building trust and, making more money and just building credibility and authority with what you do. Okay, so the last thing I want to cover, and this is one of the most important things with the website, you have control over that website. You have control over all that content, the SEO, all that stuff. That's all in your hands, right? Versus just relying on the Instagram platform. Like you don't have control over Instagram. The algorithm can change. You could see they just implemented Reels. And if, they're really pushing an account that use Reels and different things, you don't really have control over how that platform operates versus your website. You have control over all that stuff. So that's a really big deal. And let's say, I don't know, Instagram goes away, right? Then what do you have? If you just have social media and let's say they make a big change or they just go away, what do you have at that point? Where are you going to send your clients? You have no place of your own to send your clients versus if you have the website, you still have a place with all your content and your SEO dialed in and all that evergreen content and all that stuff. You still have that versus, just relying on the Instagram platform. Something happens, you don't have nothing to fall back on. So, that's something that we really don't think about, but it can happen. And the main thing that I really think about is what if it changes drastically? What if it's not worth it at all anymore? At least I have that website. I've focused on my SEO and I'm bringing in traffic every day to my site, and I can kind of fall back on my website. I think that's a really big deal to have that in place. And we don't think about that stuff, but it can happen. And that's how you need to think when it comes to your business. Like, what if something happens? We just usually think about all the good stuff, but we don't want to think about the bad stuff, but it can definitely happen. So you need to be prepared for it. So I want to know, what are your thoughts on IG versus having a website? Do you just have Instagram and you don't use a website? I just want to know, what are your thoughts on this? So we could just have an open discussion about this. And I'm just interested to see what other people think about this. So leave a comment and let me know your thoughts on Instagram versus having a website. But in summary, I think you should always focus on your website. Maybe if you've just started photography, like you're legit a beginner, that's probably not the first thing you're worried about. And you could wait a little while before you get into the website, but it's something that should be on the top of your priority list. You need to be focusing on or saving up money to get that website in place. Don't just rely on social media. I'm not saying don't use Instagram at all. I use it, but don't just focus on Instagram. Don't rely on that as being your main portfolio, especially if you got to think about where you're trying to go with this. Like, what do you want your brand perception to be like? Do you want to be a high-end photographer? Do you want to book like higher paying gigs? These are things that you need to be thinking about. And if you're leaning more towards that high end or making more money, building more trust, then you need a website. Well, regardless, I think a website is a must. So get those websites created. I have some templates to flow themes. That's what I use for both of our sites, my adrianlard.com and also our AOK Studios photography business. So I'll link those templates below. They are for WordPress, just creatives. You don't have to be a photographer. You could be a videographer, just any kind of creative professional that offers services. And the themes are beautiful. They look very good. They're easy to use. There is a little learning curve, but it's all like drag and drop and add in. I think anybody could learn how to do it, and they have video tutorials to help you figure everything out. And the customer support is great. So if you need a template for your website, you definitely want to check them out. Like I said, link is in the description. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like. It really helps your boy out, helps the channel. I appreciate everybody that drops likes, drops comments, and just shows support. Subscribe to the channel. On this channel, we talk about different topics like this. I give photography tips, just helping you become a better photographer, developing a better mindset, and getting your business just up and running and making money. So if you're interested in that, consider subscribing. I post new videos every single week, and I will see y'all in my next video. Peace.